This is Opinion City, where pro wrestling gets the conversation it deserves. Real voices,
All right, welcome to a brand new episode of the Opinion City Podcast, a late night Sunday episode of the Opinion City Podcast. I am King Ralph. I'm joined tonight by our infield correspondent who is sitting in for Parma Sean this evening. It's Ben F. Silverio. Ben, how are you this evening?
How are you, Ralph? I'm doing great.
Man, I'm chilling. I'm ready to get some GCW conversation going on. And speaking of which, you are not our only special guest this evening. Why don't you tell us a little bit about who will be speaking to this evening about GCW?
Absolutely. So today, I needed an expert on GCW. I needed another fellow fan to help talk about this, because I know that you and Sean aren't as into GCW or haven't gone as much as.
Yes.
So, you know, to help you, give you an introduction, I guess. I had to make a hot tag to my friend out in California, wrestling media personality, bodyslam.net correspondent. We actually met at the 2025 WrestleMania night one in Vegas. We both watched it at our friend Jimmy Velasco's brother's house, so that was fun. But yes, I'm talking about the one, the only Anissa Barr.
All right.
Hello.
Hi. Hello
Hi.
there. Welcome to the Opinion City Podcast. We are super excited to have you here this evening to talk about GCW. Ben mentioned a little bit about your background and what you do in the wrestling world. So just kind of tell us a little bit about that and maybe how you really got into GCW.
So funny enough, breaking news, I kind of left Body Slam.
Breaking news.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
No,
We're
it's okay.
tagging that as an exclusive. Yep, we got it first.
It's just a personal thing. I just kind of wanted to do focus on my personal life and my personal career, and then dabble into doing my own content. But other than that, yeah, no, I started in 2018 at AfterBuzz TV and just started working with X-Pac on his podcast show 12360, and I worked with Lillian Garcia a little bit with her podcast as social media. So, you know, I've been doing it a little bit here and there. You know, I'm not consistently, but I need to be. But with GCW, oh man, I don't even remember the first time I saw GCW. But I remember the first time I attended a GCW show, and it was in LA, and it was a lot. It was just a memorable, crazy experience. I can tell you that.
The venue that they run in LA is so nice.
Yeah.
Like, I love that place.
Oh yeah.
The Ukrainian Cultural Center, I believe.
Yeah,
right?
the UCC.
So if I'm not mistaken, California has a lot of really nice places to run wrestling shows.
Yeah.
Some places.
Would you?
Sometimes it's in a warehouse.
Well, Ben,
true.
you've been on both coasts. What would you say? Where have you seen better venues, here or out there?
Oh, I mean, that's tough.
Yeah. Putting you on the spot.
Gosh, I mean, the drive to places is a lot better in California.
Okay. All right. Well, that's important. I mean, you know, you gotta have a good drive.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure Anissa can speak to this as well, but like, I've been to some really random places to watch wrestling in California.
Yeah.
Like, I remember going to a VFW hall in, like, oh my God, I don't even remember what town, but it was like near a brewery, like a Budweiser brewery or something.
Oh, wow. Okay.
But you know, the classic wrestling grandmas with canes and like cowboy hats and, you know, awesome wrestling. But there's also the Globe Theater, which was really cool. There's, I think it's called the Vermont near Hollywood, was pretty nice. But of course, you know, PWG used to run in California in near LA, in Reseda. Unfortunately, that building's not there anymore.
Yeah. Everyone on the East Coast is jealous that you guys had PWG over there.
I mean, I never got to go to the Reseda venue, but I did go to the Globe.
Nice. All right. So I have a few pictures here that I would like to talk about, and maybe you can explain them a little bit to us for our audience to get to know you a little better. This is the first one. We call this one Shoes and Glass. So tell us what exactly went on here with Shoes and Glass.
What happened was there was glass. I believe it was the Kogar brothers were definitely involved. I think Dr. Redactive was involved. I mean, I was California. How do I say it? I was on a. Am I allowed to say stoned on here?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay, I was California stoned. And so there was a lot going on that night. So, yeah, and I was like, oh, that's fun. Let me just take a I thought, Tumblr, just,
Hell yeah.
I just thought Tumblr vibes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Now tell us about what this one was like for you, because I'm very interested in this one. Tell us what it was like meeting Stone Cold.
I was surprised I wasn't like starstruck or anything.
Okay. Yeah.
I wasn't nervous. I was like, oh wow. It's like I was just like, oh wow, it's Stone Cold.
Yeah.
But he came in, we knew about it about a week in advance that we knew he was gonna come in. It was a great experience. Very, very nice. Oh, another thing, I drank a beer with him that day too.
I believe
way.
I believe I saw something about that. Isn't there like a video of you all standing there? Yeah, I'm jealous.
You have to scroll down a little bit, but that was a very. I don't drink beer. I don't like the taste of beer. But if Stone Cold's gonna ask you to drink a beer, you better fucking drink a beer.
That is right.
So it was a beautiful experience to be in his presence. To just listen how he just normally has conversations with people instead of just being the character.
Sure.
So I don't know. It was just, I don't know. That's my favorite picture because I think I look great in it. So
nice. All right, and one last one, and I have to do this because this guy is like the number one wrestler in our house right now, which is crazy because he's overtaken Orange Cassidy. But what was it like meeting this guy? Little Drew McIntyre in the house.
Very nice man. Very tall. Very tall.
Yeah.
One of the tallest wrestlers. I was like, oh my God, like him and Wade Barrett are the most tallest wrestlers I was like memorized by. I'm like, wow, like you're really tall. But he was very nice, very humble. Just, it's nice to meet wrestlers who are just themselves. Not in character, which is great too, but I just feel like I've always gotten a great experience meeting wrestlers no matter what. I've never had a really bad experience meeting anybody. So no, I thought it was a great experience.
Oh, right.
So other than Stone Cold and Drew, do you have any other favorite wrestlers that you've met so far?
Ooh, good question.
My favorite, Jon Moxley.
Oh, there we go. All right. Yeah.
That's my goat. That is my goat. That's my favorite deathmatch wrestler of all time. I have his name tattooed on me.
Oh, very nice. Okay.
Yeah. Who else? I'm sorry. What was the question again? My apologies.
No, so some of your favorite wrestlers that you've met.
Favorite wrestler. So definitely Jon Moxley. Definitely Stone Cold. I just recently met the Kogar brothers for the first time, which I don't understand why. They've been at the UCC so many times. That's a fun story. So, but they're definitely in my top. I guess those three are my top three because those are the most memorable experiences of meeting Moxley, Austin, and the Kogar brothers.
I think a lot of people might compare Atticus a little bit to Jon Moxley because the way their minds work is so fascinating when it comes to wrestling, especially deathmatch.
Yeah,
Atticus is like on another level.
agree. I think when it comes to story-wise and storyline, I
Mhm.
feel with Atticus, he knows what he's I just like the way he creates stories in
Mhm.
GCW and how he just creates these little videos and these little masks, and it brings out a different side of him where when you meet him in person, it's like, "Oh, no, you're just a kind little soul." But
It's true.
when you're when you're on the ring, you're a murderer killer, which I like,
Yeah.
you know? You're ready to, stab someone, which is great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a sweet little boy until I remember the very first time I saw him, he was wearing a mask of Shotzi Blackheart's face.
Oh,
Mm.
It
wow.
was very creepy.
I'm sure. Jeez.
Yeah. That was in like a random brewery in Indiana. But
Oh,
even back
wow.
then when he was still very young, like I could see like the star power in him.
Hmm.
Yeah. I think that he's definitely come a long way. Definitely, in my opinion, he's gonna be in the Deathmatch Hall of Fame.
Oh yeah.
Uh, I have been enjoying everything that the Kogar brothers have been doing in GCW. I think they uh are I think they are the biggest top guys in GCW.
Hmm.
Totally.
I can't say there's so much positive things I could say about them and how they work in the ring and how they cut promos, how they do their
Mhm.
videos, and especially Kogar, where every opponent he has a promo video for it. And you
Hmm.
don't really see that in independent wrestling as much
Hmm.
as what he's doing, in my opinion.
I agree totally.
And I also like the psychology he does
Mhm.
when he does these videos where he comes out in these little masks or he dresses up as his opponent. It's
Hmm.
really psychotic, and he likes to mess with people's minds, and I really
Hmm.
enjoy that about
Oh
him.
yeah.
All right.
Now, before we get too far into GCW present, I thought I'd share some GCW history for
Oh.
people like Ralph and Sean who may not know as much about GCW. So, originally, GCW was founded in 1999 as Jersey Championship Wrestling, which you may know the name because it's
Hmm.
back and running shows again. But it was rebranded in 2015 as Game Changer Wrestling when Dane Demento and Brett Lauderdale took over. The
Okay.
name came from an event space in Howell, New Jersey that hosted laser tag, gaming tournaments, concerts, and wrestling. Though the venue is now closed, the wrestling promotion lives on and has become one of the biggest independent wrestling promotions in the world.
Hmm.
Like ECW, GCW primarily known for death matches and a more hardcore style of wrestling. But also like ECW, the promotion began to spotlight a variety of different styles, which we're going to touch on in a little bit. And finally, the first recognized GCW World Champion after the rebrand was Kyle the Beast, who picked up the title after Tama Tonga vacated the JCW Championship. The second champion was Deathmatch Hall of Famer Matt Tremont, and then followed by the infamous Nick Gage. And of course, today, the reigning and defending champion is Atticus Kogar of Vandal 48.
All right. Well, definitely great to get a little bit of history before we start the conversation here. But of course, the big news is that WrestleMania week has come and gone, and as anybody that follows independent wrestling knows, not only is WrestleMania happening that week, but it is just a massive amount of independent shows. The best independent companies from around the country are presenting their shows, and of course GCW is right in the middle of that with the collective. So let's talk a little bit about the collective itself and GCW's presence during WrestleMania week.
Absolutely, yeah. GCW presented 6 different shows over 2 days, including Effie's Big Gay Brunch, Josh Barnett's Bloodsport, Gringo Loco's World on Lucha, and Joey Janela's Spring Break. Uh, just those, just a couple of them. But Anissa, how many of the shows did you get to attend?
Uh, I think most of them except for 2.
Okay.
maybe 3. It was a weekend.
Sure.
That definitely a weekend.
Mhm.
I went to Progress.
Oh,
First time I
yes.
ever went to Progress. Beautiful, memorable experience there. I went definitely spring break, definitely
Mhm.
clusterfuck. Effie's big gay brunch, definitely went there. I did Death Terminal of
Mhm.
Death.
Ooh.
I missed the MDK because I just got so tired and I was like, I need some sleep.
Mhm.
Of Jace the Gigolo, JCW.
Mhm.
Probably,
Mhm.
not I didn't stay too long, but fun fact, I guess, when I was coming back to my hotel at late hours in the morning, the show was just ending and people were leaving. I'm like, it's
Wow.
4 in the morning. What's going? I'm like, did the show just end? They're like, yeah. I'm like, oh my goodness.
That's nuts.
Wow. That is
I
crazy.
Yeah.
But Vegas, you know,
The
you
Vegas,
never know.
yeah, the time goes by so quickly over there.
It does. Oh my god. Like you know, I didn't get to go this year, but last year everything was just a blur when I was driving back to LA. It was but
Mhm.
such a great time. Now, Anissa, were there some matches that really stood out to you on the GCW end from the collective and from Mania Week this past year?
For me, it was definitely Joey Janela versus Brody Lee Jr.
Hmm.
Mhm.
That I want to say really stood out the most because that place was jam-packed.
Mm,
It was crazy how many people were there. And of course,
Mhm.
a lot of supporters for Brody Lee Jr.
mhm.
That match was wonderful. It was great to see to witness in person his first actual wrestling match, which is
What a wild way to have a
crazy.
first match.
Mhm.
Yeah. Like but how smooth he was in the ring just at 14. This kid's gonna go beyond far,
Mhm.
beyond far. Um, I thought Shayna Baszler versus Natty Neidhart was great.
Oh
I liked how there was no win or loss person, I
Mhm.
felt.
yeah. Mm,
Um, it the energy was great there. I really enjoyed it. Definitely the death match at Clusterfuck was, Otis Kogar versus Matt
mhm,
Tremont. That was fun. I felt like it was a little too quick though,
mm.
but I understand because they have the Clusterfuck was a whole battle, was an 80 something people
Wow.
allegedly.
Allegedly.
Yes.
Oh wow.
Allegedly there was like
Man.
80 people. I don't They just kept coming and it didn't end
Mhm.
till 3 in the morning.
Mhm.
So
Wow.
I saw dinosaurs.
Yep.
Um
Very cool. Yeah.
they came out to Barney, which was nice.
Oh my god.
Um I saw a lot of singers dance to High School Musical.
Oh my.
That's a
So
great clip. You got to
Man.
look it up.
it was so
Wow.
fun. Um, Definitely saw some gay brunch there. A little battle royal was fun.
Mhm.
Mm.
Um, it was just it was a fun weekend. Half of it was memorable, some of it wasn't.
Mhm.
So
So, when we look at the collective, for example, we know Joey Janela's Spring Break that started out as like a midnight show on like a Friday night, and it went from that show to like one of the headline shows every year at the collective. It became a very important show, but we also have seen the evolution of Effie's Big Gay Brunch. So, talk a little bit about because we have a brand new show coming out soon that will be starring Ben F. Silverio alongside Allison Red, and they'll be talking about the different communities in professional wrestling that are underrepresented, and obviously, the talent that is on Effie's Big Gay Brunch every year. It's a very important thing for them. So, how important is that event to be, a part of the collective and be a part of that whole independent scene WrestleMania week?
I think you're talking about Effie's Big Gay Brunch in
Mhm.
general. I
Yes.
think it is very important. I think all walks of life, and doesn't matter what gender you are, what you identify, they deserve to be noticed,
Mm.
in my opinion. Um, I think it should be not just an annual thing. I think we should see it more often.
Mm.
There's so many talent on Effie Big Gay Brunch. You know, when you saw, if you know, if people look back and watch the Battle Royal, there's so many up and coming performers that deserve to get more noticed. And I think that with Big Gay Brunch, I feel like it should not just be an annual 1 year thing. I think it
Mm.
Yeah.
should play at least 5 times a year. I'm gonna
Yeah.
say 5 times a year.
It would be awesome to see Big Gay Brunch on like every big like quarterly pay-per-view, you know,
Mhm.
like
Yeah,
the big five or like with All In weekend, you know. It would be great to see
yeah.
Big Gay Brunch at all those things.
Oh, I 100% agree. I had fun, you know. I enjoyed it. I saw
Did you
new
have the
talent.
breakfast burrito?
I didn't. I woke up too late.
Okay.
Oh.
Woke up in time, like 45 minutes before the show started. So I'm like, oh my God, I gotta get ready. Because I really wanted to go and watch the show
Mhm.
because, you know, um, some people there I really was looking forward to. So right now I'm blanking and I feel bad if I forget their names because it was a lot going on.
Well, I know a favorite of the Opinion City podcast, Julesy, was in
Mm.
the Big Gay Brunch Battle Royal,
Yes.
and he looked like he was having a great time.
Yeah. Yeah, everyone was having a good time, I thought. One person that I was absolutely excited to see was Charlie Evans.
Oh,
Mm.
yes.
Yeah.
I freaking love her. In my opinion, she's definitely one of the greatest deathmatch women's wrestler. She's needs to be signed. She needs to be
Talk
in
about
GCW
people
more often.
Yeah, talk about people who have come a long way. I used
Yeah.
to see her in the Berwyn Eagles Club in Illinois, outside of Chicago,
Mm.
and she was so young when she was coming over for a Shimmer and
Yeah.
Rise, and so to see what she's become now is like 180 degrees, and she's uh the match that she just had with Eddie Kingston apparently is
Yeah.
like must see. So
I gotta watch that.
yeah, very excited to watch that eventually, but I'm glad to hear that Charlie Evans is like really putting in the work.
Mm.
Yeah, the first time I saw Charlie was at All I get confused with All In, All Out.
Right.
You know, I believe it was All Out 2023 Chicago. It was, I believe it was that year. It was her versus Sawyer Wreck
Oh,
in a
that's a fun
death
match.
match, and that's the first time I saw her. I'm like, who is this? Who is this? I need to know who she is.
Mm.
And then this year, I was able to meet her at WrestleCon, and I just
Mm.
absolutely adored her. And in my opinion, I think she reminds me of Candice LeRae.
Oh yeah,
Mm.
She
I can totally see
gives
that.
a little bit of Candice LeRae. And I've told her, and she absolutely thinks it was too kind of me to say it, but I think her a little bit of style and a little bit of
Mm.
way she moves just reminds me of Candice in Candice's PWG days, especially when she wrestles the
Oh
men.
yeah,
Mm.
So, you know, Charlie Evans has come a long way, and I think she's gonna be one of the greatest deathmatch wrestlers of this generation, especially being a woman.
yeah. You know,
Very cool.
speaking of women in GCW and in deathmatch, I have to bring up the woman who's on my shirt. Allie
Allie.
Indeed.
Cash had a loser leaves GCW match with Effie during WrestleMania week, and
Mm.
I mean it's devastating that now we don't have Allie Catch in GCW.
Yeah.
Anissa, what do you think of the whole Effie situation and now Allie being gone and all that?
You know, I think it's a perfect storyline because how close they are. being able to wrestle one of your closest friends in one of your final matches. I don't know what's gonna happen with Allie. I don't know where she's gonna go. I don't know, I don't know. But wherever she goes, I hope she thrives. But it's always fun to see Allie wrestle because she, in my opinion, is the one of the heart of GCW.
Mm.
Basically has been the only woman in GCW. Of course they always bring women, but you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
how like Candice was PWG. Like that's like
Mhm.
if you think of PWG, you think of Candice LeRae. When you think of a woman, when you think of GCW for women, you think Alley Catch right away.
Mhm.
So with her, and Effie's match, I thought it was a beautiful storyline.
There's an alternate universe out there where Allie Catch didn't get injured in New York and she won the GCW world title off of Effie, and things would have played out very differently, but unfortunately we don't live in that universe. And I was
No,
just
Mm.
heartbroken when
so was
Allie
I.
broke her leg. Oh my god. She was totally going to win that championship that night too, and heart breaks that she
Just
never got a run with it.
no, and right, all we saw was her entrance, and then right when the bell rang, boom, and then she injured. I'm like, oh no! Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I will say this: I blame the rail too
Mm,
close.
sure. Yeah.
Mm.
God, things could have gone so differently. It would have been
Yeah,
so
if
great
the
to
rail
see
was a little
that.
bit more, like maybe 5 inches away, 5 more inches away, I think she
Yeah.
would have been 100% fine.
Mm.
But
Ooh.
Yeah, just things happen, and now we have all of this. Now you spoke a little earlier when speaking about the collective, just the variety of wrestling that takes place during the collective, and Alley Catch was not the only goodbye we said. As we heard at the end of Bloodsport will not be continuing for the foreseeable future. So what kind of hold does that leave in the collective in general? Because Bloodsport has been a very popular event for mainstream stars to go and participate in matches that they would never be a part of on mainstream television.
um, I was shocked. At first, I couldn't hear because when you're there live, the mic, the mics are when you're at a wrestling
Yeah.
show. It doesn't
Sure.
really, it's not clear. But it was a lot of people were devastated in the crowd. They were like, "Wait, what?
Hmm.
Like this is why?" But you know, it's one of those things where I feel like in wrestling, like some things will go away and then they'll always come back.
Mhm.
Sure. Sure.
Wrestling is a place where you never say never, and I think with Bloodsport, we don't know what's gonna happen. We don't know
Hmm.
what. I wonder what's gonna fulfill Bloodsport next year.
Hmm.
But maybe, I hope it comes back because it was a lot of people. There's a big crowd for that.
Yeah.
Huge crowd.
Yeah.
But I
Bloodsport
do,
last year was so good. Like
yeah.
that everyone wanted to be there again, you know?
Hmm.
Hmm. Yeah. And I feel like every year it's just a place that everybody wants to go to. And I do, like how you said, a lot, things are going away. One person that we didn't talk about is Kid Bandit.
Oh my god, that's
Hmm.
right. I had no idea that she was retiring this week that
I did
week.
not know either. I didn't know either. And when she took her knee pads off, I was like, wait, what? What's going on?
Hmm.
And everyone's saying, cheering for her. And I got a little emotional because I
Yeah.
really love watching Kid Bandit. And the first time I met Kid Bandit was at a wrestling show in Baldwin Park in LA. We'll
Yeah.
say LA County. And Kid Bandit was an up and coming, not in the ring yet. And I was very lucky to go to Denny's with a group of them after. and got to know Kid Bandit a little bit, and to see where she started and how the first time I met her to now where, she has been and growing and where she's been, it just amazes me to see how their journey was.
Yeah. I also got to see her in LA. That show that I mentioned out by that brewery. Oh man, it sucks that I can't remember where
I
it
think
is.
I know
but
what you're talking about.
yeah. I went to that show because Delilah Doom was on it.
Was it
Defending.
Bumps and Bruises?
Oh, I'm not sure. It might have been a
Okay.
Santino Brothers show.
Probably.
Yeah. But Kid Bandit was on that show too, and I got to talk to her a little bit afterwards, and we bonded over both being Filipino and like loving wrestling. And she had just made her debut in Philadelphia not too long ago, to face Matt Mako at Labor of Love, and I didn't go because I was just like, oh, I'll catch her next time she's here. I'm a little low on cash, so I'll probably skip the wrestling show. And then she goes and retires, and now I won't get to see her wrestle again, which is a huge bummer.
Again, a lot of wrestlers say they retire and then they magically come back. I mean, look at Stone Cold.
Oh, sure.
He magically came back one year.
Yep. And also, Kid Bandit is now running a wrestling promotion. So,
really?
Yeah, I believe they're focusing on LGBTQ talent as well.
Wonderful.
So, yeah, so hopefully we do get that big gay brunch feel year round with this new promotion once it gets off the ground.
Oh, that's great news.
Yeah. And lucky for you, it's in LA. So
indeed. The crack research staff has told me that this is T4T Wrestling Los Angeles. And that will be the company that Kid Bandit will be running moving forward.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of another retirement, the Sandman retired.
Oh, how could we not talk about that?
So many people retiring this year.
So many people. But the Sandman had a very unique opponent in his final match because he faced the Invisible Man.
Oh.
And my God, what a match.
What an experience.
Oh,
yeah. What was it like in the building for that?
Well, I'll be honest, I'm 5'2", so it was hard for me to see a lot because everyone was standing. And the energy was great. Missy Hyatt came out. I was like, what? And then Mick Foley. I mean, I had a feeling because I saw Noel. I'm like, okay, maybe Mick Foley is going to show up.
Yeah.
But Mick Foley did show up, and you know what? I think it's a great send off for someone like Sandman. The crowd was insane. I got video of just trying to film, and everyone's just running, and Sandman's in the crowd as usual, and it was a experience that I will never forget. The energy in the building was great. Everybody was into it. And I think it was a beautiful send off, and I hope that he had a wonderful time. And
I think it's a very fitting way to send off a wrestler like the Sandman, who himself has been such an interesting and different character throughout his career, and then to get that retirement match in such an incredible and interesting fashion, I think it's really fitting.
Yeah, now I wonder what ECW wrestler next year is going to retire.
Oh,
because last year Sabu, rest in peace, and then now we have Sandman.
Well, there's only one name I can think of that should be having a retirement match next year.
Spike Dudley?
No, not at all. I don't even know. Does Spike Dudley still wrestle? I mean,
occasionally.
I don't know.
Well, I would Sabu, Sandman, RVD.
I didn't want to say
RVD.
It
goes along those lines, but he's been doing a lot of press lately, so he's out there, and it could be a fitting way for him. But it's interesting that we talk about next year, because what is going to happen with the Collective next year? I think that's the question on a lot of people's minds, because as we all know, WrestleMania is going overseas, and the Collective is not going overseas. I can pretty much guarantee. However, what happens next year? Do they go to New Orleans, hold a Collective in New Orleans? Because that would be a fitting place to hold the Collective next year after New Orleans got the shaft.
Yeah, and didn't they pay, or like WrestleCon paid for the hotel in New Orleans?
Oh yeah, there was some kind of issue
Like
where
something. I think they should go. I mean, I think it's a blessing in disguise when it comes to independent wrestling that WrestleMania is going to be in Saudi Arabia, because next year it's the perfect time to showcase a lot of talent on the indies. The fact that WrestleMania is not going to be there, but like make it as a big independent show.
Sure.
Yeah.
And just solidify and show so many great talent. I think it's perfect in a weird way.
Yeah, if they follow in the footsteps of AEW and book a giant stadium before anyone, believes that they can, I think the Collective could totally, show the American public that doesn't usually watch independent wrestling how great it can be. Like if they're in the Now Arena in Chicago, or there's a ton of venues all over the country that would fit as like a smaller venue but holds a lot of people, like Long Beach, where they had New Japan. That could be a possibility. I mean, the Cow Palace in San Francisco. There are a ton of places around the country that can hold a lot more people than Hammerstein Ballroom, let's say. And I think GCW is ambitious enough to take that route. I think. I mean, they're going to Italy this year.
Sure.
Like, whoever thought that would happen?
Right.
Yes.
I mean, they've been going to a lot of places these past few years, like Japan, Mexico, Hawaii.
Yep. Alaska. Like, I didn't even know there was wrestling in Alaska.
I didn't even know there was wrestling in Hawaii.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's out there. And I think this is the perfect opportunity for things to just go big, because they already have shows during the WrestleMania weekend, but this is a prime opportunity, because not only is WrestleMania going to Saudi Arabia, a majority of wrestling fans are not. So they're going to be here and they're going to be looking for something. And this is like the perfect opportunity to just kind of take over that whole week and that weekend and really, really solidify it as, the biggest week in the history of independent wrestling.
Yeah. And I think because, unfortunately we saw all the releases that happened. Next year, it might be a little bit more bigger when it comes to the Collective, because you never know who might pop up.
Could you imagine the Wyatt 6 versus Vandal 48 at GCW? I mean, my God, printing your own money.
Yeah, I guarantee you we will see the Wyatt 6 somewhere.
WrestleCon.
Yeah,
exactly. Somebody is going to take that ball and run with it, like WWE should have after that first night. They drop the ball almost immediately, but somebody's going to pick that up and go with it, because that's a talented group that is committed to what they were doing.
Oh man, but before we get to WrestleMania week next year, we do have an impressive schedule of events for GCW in the immediate future, including their debut at the legendary ECW Arena. It's taken a long time for them to get there. I feel like they've run in places very close to Swanson and Rittner, but finally they're getting in the door, and it's going to be incredible. Now, to preview this, I had a chance to sit down with GCW senior official Adam Gault, and we talked a little bit about him. He's so great. Big fan of his. He and I actually go way back, because I remember being invited to his backyard for backyard wrestling with now the person known as the Mecca of Brian Johnson.
Oh, wow.
Even back then, you could see the star power of Brian and Adam. And so We talk a little bit actually of the two of them wrestling for real and not in, well, it wasn't a backyard, but not on his parents' trampoline. Anyway, this interview took place right before Labor of Love's most recent show, The Exhibition, which is a wonderful show that you should check out on YouTube if you haven't yet. ROH Pure Championship, Lee Moriarty versus Cheeseburger, burned the house down. And then followed up by Timothy Thatcher versus Matt Mako for the Labor of Love Citywide Championship. Oh, God. And it's free on YouTube. You're welcome. Go watch it.
Oh,
But
yeah,
before
I'm gonna
that,
go watch it after this.
hell yeah. But before that, let's hear from our conversation with senior GCW official Adam Gault.
Hey, I'm Ben F. Silverio, and I am your Opinion City podcast infield correspondent, and we are here at the Icebox Art Space for Labor of Love. And right now we have GCW senior official Adam Gault. Adam, thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Ben. Happy to be here.
Awesome. So we were just talking about WrestleMania week. We're fresh off of an awesome collective. You must be tired. How many shows did you end up working this week?
So, yeah, it was a great week. I did 18 matches total over 9 shows over 4 days. And if you involve 2 other shows that I helped kind of produce, it was 11 total.
Wow.
So, yeah.
That's nuts. So, you know, the collective is a huge week of the year for GCW, but one of the biggest events on the calendar for 2026 is coming up next weekend, where you make your debut at the legendary ECW Arena. As a part of the GCW family and as a huge wrestling fan, what does it mean to you and for the company to make that milestone?
Yeah, it means a lot. We're really excited. I've had the honor of reffing in the ECW Arena before, multiple times, but never for GCW. So to be doing it at home as a lifelong Philadelphian with GCW, which is my home, it means a lot, and we're really excited. Obviously there's a lot of influence on ECW that influences GCW, but also CZW and Ring of Honor, which have all had their time in the arena. So now we get to make our mark, and we're ready to go, and we're excited to do it.
That's really awesome. Now, one of the staples of GCW is Joey Janela, and he's a big part of the collective week as well. He called you the MVP of WrestleMania weekend for your work with the Sandman's last match and Brody Lee Jr.'s first match. So, what are some of the roles in GCW that you play that fans might be surprised to see that you're involved with?
Yeah, well, first, I'm really humbled for Joey to give me those kudos and props. I really appreciate it. I think it's more on the performers, but I was happy to be able to be the glue. I think a lot of times the referees are the glue to help tell the story, right? So first and foremost, a lot of communication, a lot of, again, being the glue to bring things together with the cluster, for instance. Sure. I wasn't ringside there, but I was helping produce with that, making sure that we have certain things in place, certain systems in place, so that things are being executed, things are happening properly. And then, again, your communication's key, and we're a big part of that in the ring and out of the ring. So yeah, we do a lot of different things. And, whether it's getting inflatable dinosaur costumes an hour or 2 before doors open for the cluster, or, being in the ring and relaying something and making sure, Brody Lee Jr. is comfortable. A ref's job, we wear many hats. And so there's a lot that we have to do to step up and do our job well.
Awesome. Now, GCW is like an onion. It has layers.
Yes.
But it has a lot of similarities to ECW in that a lot of people associate death matches and hardcore matches with the promotion. Now, as a referee, how do you prepare for something like a death match as opposed to something like, let's say, a pure match?
Sure. Great question. I often give the advice to other referees if they're starting to ref the first death match they've ever reffed, that everything that makes a good referee is what makes a good death match referee. Heightened sense of communication, having your head on a swivel, being prepared for anything. All of those things is just kind of leveled up for a death match. There's going to be obviously a lot of additional variables and a lot of things that you have to take into consideration. But if you're good at communication, you're good at staying aware of things, good at making sure that the talent are safe as much as they can be in sometimes a death match, then you'll do a good job. And so those are some of the things. It's like what you may have in a pure wrestling match or a regular wrestling match or a tag match, you now just have to have that heightened up and kind of turned up a little bit more than you already would in a regular match.
Right. Now, with the layers, ECW introduced North America to Lucha Libre, Rey Mysterio and Psychosis. And likewise, GCW is bringing Gringo Loco to the ECW Arena, and that's going to be incredible. But for those fans that are kind of hung up on that deathmatch image of GCW, what would you say to them to try to get them to come in and check it out?
Yeah, so I think that's one of the biggest misunderstandings of GCW is that we are only deathmatch and we're only hardcore. Now, granted, we do have a very relaxed rules as a referee. We're not always able to enforce the rules to the fullest, and that's that ECW influence. But GCW, we're trying to hit all 50 states, and sometimes we'll enter a state and fans online will say, "Oh, the commission there, how can they run a show?" I'm like, you probably don't really watch our product then, because if you're watching our show consistently, we do a lot more than just deathmatch and hardcore. It's a variety show. You said it's an onion. It has layers. It's kind of like the circus in a good way we have the Lucha Libre. We have pure wrestling, technical wrestling. We have hard-hitting wrestling. We have the hardcore. We have the comedy. We have a mix of it all. And I think if you take a chance on actually watching on Triller or coming to a live show, you're going to recognize that. And we do Lucha better than some. And I think we just mentioned the collective. There is a various amount of different type of shows, different flavors of ice cream for different folks. And if you come to the arena next week or come to one of our shows live, you're going to see that first and foremost, that we're going to give you a little bit of everything and a true variety show of pro wrestling, and you're going to have a lot of fun. Yeah. I'm willing to bet that.
R.I.P. Bloodsport, by the way.
Yes.
I'm going to miss it.
Yes, so will I.
So, we mentioned Gringo Loco. And with the debut in the ECW Arena, GCW is bringing some major, major talent. I mean, TNA's Bear Bronson, for the first time ever, is facing the king of the ultra-violence, Nick Gage. You have a DLC six-way, what is the DLC match?
DLC is doors, ladders, and chairs. So swap out the tables for doors. Yep.
Okay. And then world champion Atticus Cogar will be there. And if I wasn't mistaken, I saw Marcus Mathers kind of circling him. So we might get that title match?
Yeah, I don't know for sure. Stay tuned. Honestly, I find out a lot of things online just like everyone else does. So let's see if that happens.
All right. So with such big names, such big matches, as a fan, which performer or which match are you most looking forward to seeing?
It's a really good question. The card's not complete yet. I'm sure there's going to be some more great things added. But I think it's what you mentioned with Bear Bronson versus Nick Gage. Yeah. It was great to see Nick back in the ring last week, make his return. I spent a lot of time with Nick. He's locked in. He's feeling great. He's doing great. And I think that showed in his performances with the death match for the main event of Death Vegas Invitational for New Japan. I think that a match on paper that was like needs to deliver, and I think it certainly did. And then him being involved in coming back to GCW, formerly at Spring Break. So I think this is more of that local homecoming, that local return. And to have that match against Bear, who really stepped up in 2025 over the last year. It's just about a year till June, that Bear had his first death match in GCW and really skyrocketed from there and really did so much great work. So I think that's really, two forces coming together in the arena. Yeah. Super excited for it.
That's really awesome. Now, regarding your time as a fan, the GCW faithful got a little taste of it back in 2024 with GCW Backyard Wrestling, where we got to see the Atom face off with the Mecha Brian Johnson.
Yes.
Now, what did that match mean to you, especially doing it with someone you've been such close friends with for such a long time?
Yeah, it meant a lot. I was a little hesitant at first. Things happen really quickly in wrestling. Yeah. So it was like, wasn't sure if it was really going to happen, and then it was. And the biggest takeaway I have from it, I had a lot of fun. I credit Brian for making sure it was a good match, and the fans really seemed to enjoy it. And honestly, my biggest takeaway was I was glad it didn't suck. So like Backyard can be a lot of flavors, a lot of different things, but I'm glad it delivered, and it seemed like a lot of fans enjoyed it. I think it was unexpected, so it was fun, and I think it's something. GCW and pro wrestling has given me a lot of wild, wacky, crazy memories, and put me in a lot of situations that I'll never forget. And to wrestle as my backyard persona from 25 years before, and in a random backyard on the 4th of July, 98 degrees weather, Violent J on the call with commentary. Like you can't make that up, but it happened, and so it was a really wild experience. It does mean a lot to me. I appreciate you bringing it up and appreciate that the fans enjoyed it, and that's what's most important.
Yeah, are there any immediate plans for the Atom to come back?
No, there is not, but never say never. As I said, wrestling, things happen quickly or things happen last minute, so you never know.
Now, considering your involvement with the clusterfuck, do you think that I need to revive my backyard wrestling persona from your trampoline all those years ago to keep up with Sean Ross Sapp and Brian Alvarez?
Never say never, as I just said, so the cluster can bring and deliver a lot of different things, but we'll see.
For the record, I'm probably not going to step back in the ring because Adam is in much better shape than I am.
All good.
I don't know if I could do that again. But, speaking of the Mecca, Brian Johnson, he's on the card tonight at Labor of Love.
Yes.
I've also seen you at Power Pro Lucha. I've seen you at New Japan. You're about to take part in Produce Wrestling, right? Crush, I believe. Now, how do you go about choosing which promotions you work for?
Well, honestly, the choosing part is just a matter of availability and if folks are reaching out. But I think what we're recognizing, and I've been really grateful that in 2026, I've been busy and been having most weekends. I'm in the ring and I'm refereeing and I'm having a blast. Yeah. I think, COVID was a while ago now, but I do think COVID kind of beat up a little bit of the independent scene. And there was a lot of recovery that had to happen. And I think we're finally seeing that in fruition with Labor of Love being able to run more frequently, with Power Pro starting. And I think it's been great. I think the fact that it's local to Philadelphia, and Philadelphia is such a wrestling city, such an independent wrestling city, to have these promotions running. And then the tri-state area, we benefit from being in the tri-state area. There's a lot of great independent wrestling happening often and frequently. So for Produce coming on the map as well, GCW never really abandons this area for any long period of time. Yeah. So I think it's just a matter of prioritizing my time and promotions that I want to work with that are going to deliver, that are going to be a lot of fun, work with my friends. And I've been really grateful that this year I've been healthy, I've been focused, and been able to be in the ring a lot. And I'm ready to keep it going. So
that's really awesome. It's good to be busy in this business.
Yes.
But you also have to balance a civilian life. So how does that work?
I love civilian life. It's the right word for it.
Yeah, it's like Superman, right?
Yeah.
But how do you find the balance to do both?
Yeah, it's not easy, but I mean, everybody has to balance something, right? I mean, a lot of folks balance their career along with having a family and children and devoting time to a spouse or whatever it may be. Like we all are balancing a lot. So it is tough, but in my life, I've kind of always pushed it. Yeah. I've always stayed busy. I think if I'm not busy, I don't know how well I actually do with that. So I'm grateful. And it's important to, take care of myself where I can. But at the same time, I want to keep doing this while I can and enjoy it while I can. And, so it's been fun, but it is a balance, and we do what we can, and it's hard, but we do things because they're hard, not because they're easy, and that's what makes it all worthwhile, right?
Absolutely.
So
now, one thing that we have in common with our jobs is that we get to work with people at the top of their fields.
Yes.
We may even get to work with people that we're fans of.
Mm-hmm.
So do you ever have any situations where you see your name on the assignment board and you're like, oh my God, I can't believe I get to work with them?
Yeah, there's been a lot of those moments over the years. It's always, you have to be level-headed. You're their equal in this way, that if we're assigned that match, I'm having that match for a reason, so you have to stay level-headed. But there's been a lot of things over the years. I was a big Ring of Honor guy. Yeah. From 03 to 06, I was obsessed. So every time I've had a chance to work with someone like Homicide or Alex Shelley, Chris Sabin, anything, guys from that realm. Paul London was a big one for me. Those all have meant a lot, and I think it's been then when it's reassuring that I know I did a good job. The Briscoes, oh my gosh, when I got to work with the Briscoes, I mean they were the best in the world at the time I got to work with them, and then to be in the ring, you kind of you literally sense that. You can feel like these are the best at their craft. So all of that has been tremendous, and I'm so grateful for those moments. And fortunately, I've done a good job for them, and then it's also helped me become a better referee.
Awesome. Now, referees are like the heartbeat of a wrestling match. They're always present, but you don't necessarily pay attention to them. throughout wrestling history, you have people like Earl Hebner, Nick Patrick, who've gotten involved in storylines and things like that. Teddy Long got really involved. But more recently, you have people like Bryce Remsburg and Aubrey Edwards and Red Shoes, who are noticed for how well respected they are for doing their jobs like so well. Not to kiss your ass or anything, but I feel like fans put you in that second category. So when it's time for you to hang up the stripes, how do you want to be remembered in your career?
Yeah, it's a big question, powerful question. I think at the end of the day, I want to be remembered as someone who, as a referee, our biggest job is to help tell the story.
Yeah.
And sometimes the story is a shoot fight, a blood sport between Josh Barnett and Yuji Nagata. Yeah. And a matter of hours later, you have an ECW legend versus an Invisible Man. And then later on that show, you have a teenager debuting against Joey Janela in front of a sold-out crowd. Those are a lot of different stories you have to tell. And I think at the end of the day, I want to be recognized for someone who worked very hard, was a pleasure to work with, they knew if I was in the ring with them that it was going to go well and I was going to be able to deliver on the story we need to tell, and that the fans would recognize that too. And I feel like fortunately a lot of our loyal fans do recognize that. I'm grateful for that. But at the end of the day, the focus isn't on me. But if I can help tell the story the way it needs to, that's what matters most. Yeah. So being remembered for that, and that I worked very hard at that, and I take a lot of pride in that, and just knowing that I was a kind, professional, genuine person throughout the whole process. That's what I would want to be remembered for, and I feel like if I keep it up, that's what I will be remembered for.
Incredible. I fully agree. Totally think that's what you'll be remembered for.
Thank you.
Now, last question, big question. Who's taking home the Stanley Cup this year?
Let's go Flyers.
Oh, let's go Flyers. And that is official.
That one.
All right. Well, let me just say right off the bat, phenomenal interview.
Thank you.
You and Adam obviously have some great history, some great chemistry together, and a lot to unpack from that conversation. But you did a great job.
Thanks. I really appreciate that.
I enjoyed it. You did wonderful.
Yeah.
Absolutely wonderful. You're better than me.
Well, thank you.
Oh.
Now, Anissa, what did you think about the things that Adam was saying about the upcoming show at the ECW Arena? This is a monumental occasion for GCW. So, as a huge fan of GCW, what does it mean for you to see the promotion in the ECW Arena?
I feel like it's passing the torch. That first comes to mind. I was a toddler when ECW was around, so I wasn't allowed technically to watch ECW. And if I did, my brother would record it on VH1, and then we would watch it at midnight or something when my mom would be asleep. But GCW, I feel, is this generation's ECW, and it just, to me, them going to the ECW Arena, because that's what it's known for, I feel like it's just passing the torch. Like, okay, you are now welcome to come to the 2300 Arena. This is the new generation. And I feel like it's a complete honor to, as a fan, to watch ECW at the 2300 Arena, even from home. That's my dream venue to attend as a fan. Never been, but it's been my number one dream venue to attend. And I just think that they're going to blow the roof off. GCW is going to really kill it.
Right. Well, definitely a huge show. As you talked about during the interview, already some massive matches signed for this card, and someone that we spoke to here on the Opinion City podcast is getting an absolutely massive opportunity, as Bear Bronson will be taking on the legend himself, Nick Gage. And we know the intensity in both of these competitors, and it's great to see Bear Bronson getting this opportunity, especially with this show at the ECW Arena. The ECW Arena has kind of become like a mecca to this generation's ECW style of wrestling, and for him to get that opportunity there is just incredible.
Oh yeah, Bear's gonna kill it. I have no doubt in my mind. But that's, assuming that Nick Gage doesn't kill him first. So
Yes, there's always we always have to add that caveat. As long as you survive being, in the ring with Nick Gage, you might get the chance to kill him, but that's a big if.
right.
I just hope we see a lot of blood. I'm excited
yeah.
for that.
Oh yeah, all about the blood.
And weapons and light tubes. I love light tubes.
All right. Well, we've got that match, and you talked about this during the interview. The doors, ladders, and chairs match for the Ultra Violent Championship, and I mean this is, I don't even know these 6 people in this match. I don't even know how to describe it. It's madness. It's insanity. It's the names you see there. Some of these names you just equate with that insane style of wrestling.
Yeah, Anissa, who do you think might come out on top in this one?
Man, I'm a big fan of Mr. Danger. I really hope he wins.
Mhm.
I don't know. I've obviously seen him at the UCC, and I'm just like, man, this guy is fun to watch. And he's he's one of those guys who just risk it all. And especially how the size difference of everyone. I just think I don't know, I just have a feeling I really hope Mr. Danger wins this one. I mean, all of them are great. I like John Wayne Murdoch. I think John Wayne Murdoch is one of the top greatest deathmatch wrestlers of all time of this generation. I feel like he doesn't get enough of his flowers as he deserves. If you watch a lot of his old stuff in GCW and his old matches with I'm blanking on who it is, but yeah, no, I think John Wayne Murdoch deserves his flowers, but I feel like Mr. Danger is gonna I don't know. I'm putting some money on Mr. Danger.
Yeah. I feel like John Wayne Murdoch is on the same level of reverence as Matt Tremont. The two of them are synonymous with the genre of wrestling. And, we talked about a bunch of people retiring. I feel like Matt Tremont is winding down his career now. And if there was anyone to step up and take his place, John Wayne Murdoch is a great candidate for that.
Agree.
So, I mean,
100% agree.
Yeah, I'm excited to see Mr. Danger for the first time. Haven't seen him, live. But I do know that John Wayne Murdoch is a proven commodity. So I think he'll be one to watch there too. But that's also not selling short Matt Tremont, because he's going to keep going till the wheels fall off.
Yeah.
Now the only other match that has been announced as of yet is Joey Janela versus Vipress. That is the third match that has been announced for the card so far. Joey Janela getting a shot at the ECW Arena here.
Yeah, this is a unique match.
Agree. And one of my other favorite types of wrestling is intergender wrestling, and I think Vipress, she's come a long way. I used to watch her in LA at a small Legion Hall in not East LA, but somewhere far away in LA. And her gimmick was not what it is today. It was very different. It was very dark, kind of like Undertaker, vampire-ish. And then her flipping into what her culture and what the culture is about, and Chicano culture, really just boosted up her career a lot more. And of course, when she rolled through in her lowrider in LA wearing her Dodgers gear after they won the World Series, it was just a perfect night for her. And I'm so happy for her success. I'm happy for the journey she has taken, and I just hope that she gets her flowers and has an amazing match with Joey. I know Joey and her are going to have a wonderful match, and I love when she puts her hair up because she's ready to go. That's how we do it in LA. We're like,
Yeah.
all right, we'll scrap a little bit, but if you hit us the wrong way, we're gonna roll up our hair, and you better be ready. And I hope Joey's ready for Viperous when she puts her hair up, because good luck, buddy.
Yeah, right. I'm looking forward to having a little piece of LA show up in Philadelphia, but for her own safety, I don't know if she should bring that Dodgers jersey.
Well, she'll bring her lowrider, and that's all. Joey
That'll be
better watch
cool.
out. He might get run over.
That is true. Oh man, seeing Joey Janela get run over at the ECW Arena would be great.
With him
I think he'd say so too.
Probably, yeah. Well,
backstage.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. Well, in addition to those matches that have been announced, the following talents have also been announced for the show: KJ Orso, Marcus Mathers, Gringo Loco, and the GCW World Champion Atticus Kogar. So we don't know what they'll be doing yet, but they have all been announced for this already stacked show, and we're probably not even halfway through the card announcements yet, and this show is like off the charts already.
Yeah,
I
and
predict
if you notice,
a scramble match.
Oh, totally. They love a scramble. But earlier this week, Marcus Mathers responded to Atticus Kogar on Twitter. Atticus said, "Nobody wants to step up. Get your shit together and lock in. Someone come show me that you can hold the pressure of being the world champion of the biggest independent wrestling company in the world." So Marcus responded, "GCW, give me Atticus. I'm ready to step up in my hometown." Now, Marcus Mathers has been proving himself time and time again. He's a WWE ID prospect. He just came off an amazing tour of Japan. He killed it during the Collective Week. And I think he's ready for a world championship match.
Absolutely.
I agree. I mean, I think with Marcus Mathers, he's come a long way. And, it never hurts to give anyone an opportunity for the GCW title. And with Marcus being at his hometown in Philly, I think I feel like it's a perfect timing just to showcase what Marcus Mathers can do and what he's capable of doing going against Atticus. Because Atticus, let's be honest, he's now, in my opinion, he's starting to become more of a veteran.
Mm-hmm. Even though I think they may be around the same age, but I still see Marcus as like a little kid, because I remember him like wrestling around Philly when he was like a teenager, because his dad's a wrestler too, so he'd be going around with him, and I do in a way still see him as that kid, but also I've seen that kid grow up and really come into his own in the ring, and he very proudly wears that he's from Philadelphia on his sleeve. So to be showcased on this show in this legendary arena is going to mean a whole lot to him. So if they actually book this match, I think that it has a potential to seal the show.
I did look on Wikipedia, and I did read that Atticus is 29, almost 30.
Oh my God.
That's what Wikipedia said. I could be wrong.
Wow.
That's just terribly
So
old.
that's why I brought up the whole veteran thing, because Marcus gives me, I know him personally, and he's
what is he, like 14?
Little brother, like,
yeah.
Marcus gives little brother energy. So that's why I brought up the whole veteran thing with Atticus, because when I looked up his age, I'm like, oh, okay, like he's almost 30. Okay, that makes sense, because he's been around for a hot minute.
Yeah.
So.
Right. Well,
so Anissa, do you have any other big predictions for this show? Like any surprises that you're maybe looking forward to, or spots and matches that you're anticipating, or anything like that?
Definitely a lot of light tubes. I hope to hear and see some light tubes. I'm hoping one day we get to see the birdcage in GCW. If you know what the birdcage is, watch some CCW back in the day.
Oh.
That was, I think GCW did it once. I could be wrong. I feel like they did it once, at least once. But the birdcage is basically light tubes taped like a birdcage. And they put it over the person's like a trash can. They put it over
Oh
the
my God.
person like a trash
Mhm.
can, and they just kick the person, and all the light tubes just shatter. It was
Ugh.
wonderful. I love it.
Wow.
I
Wow.
hope we get some ECW surprises. I don't care who you are from ECW. If you're still around and we FBI, bring back FBI. I want to see some FBI,
Oh,
full-blood
yeah.
That'd be fun.
Italians. I want to see them. Bring back you know, I know she doesn't I know she hasn't been around in years, but I really miss Beulah.
Oh my God,
It would
Oh,
be
yes.
yeah.
wonderful to see
Yeah.
Beulah. And all the ECW women that rocked it and changed the game. Literally, the women in ECW really, really made history. So I would
Mm.
love
Yeah.
to see a few of them show up magically, or if we get a scramble, I want to see some original ECW guys roll up in a scramble.
That would be
So
fun.
it's GCW. Anything can happen.
Yeah.
Mm.
So many possibilities.
And you get the feeling that they're treating this like the absolute event that it is, and they will really kind of go all out for this. First time, hopefully not last time in the 2300. But who knows? Maybe Spike Dudley's free.
Fingers
saying.
crossed.
Hey, look, man, that'd be fantastic. That'd be something. But yeah, definitely.
Raven
definitely.
show up.
Oh God.
Oh, listen,
You know?
that's
Man.
perfect because I mean he's been all over. He's been all over wrestling with the documentary, and like that would be incredible to see Raven show up.
Right.
Raven face to face with Vandal 48. Oh
Oh my
man,
gosh.
that would be pretty sick.
I would cry. And that's one thing about deathmatch wrestling and GCW. Like, I get emotional sometimes watching it because you could see the heart and soul and just the passion that all these people have that are referees to commentators, and obviously the wrestlers. But I feel like with GCW, I sometimes get emotional because you could see the passion that they have for GCW and for independent wrestling. And
Mm.
I also want to give a big shout out to the commentators too. The commentators are really killing it. Jordan is doing absolutely wonderful, and Veda
Oh, yeah.
Scott is absolutely wonderful.
Mhm.
MLJ, he's been around for years, and
Mhm.
that's one of my favorite spots that happened at the Collective when we saw MLJ do
Yeah.
a little spot in the ring against KJ. And it was just one of those things where certain people deserve their flowers. And I feel like MLJ, I really hope we get to see him do some cool shit at One Night Stand, because
That
he's
would be
been
cool.
around for a very long time, and I think a lot of people don't understand that he deserves his flowers too.
Absolutely. Well, we have been talking about it all night long. We are less than a week away. GCW, their debut at the 2300 Arena, Saturday, May 2nd, 8 p.m. bell time. If you cannot be there live, Triller TV is your opportunity to see this show. I can guarantee you, whether you're there live, whether you're watching it at home, it is going to be an absolutely incredible event. Not giving anything away, not saying anything here, but just keep an eye on our socials this week. We may have some more GCW news coming.
Maybe.
Maybe it's very possible. So keep an eye on our socials. But before we get out of here, Anissa, where can people find you online? Where can people see your work?
Yeah, on all social media platforms is Anissa Barr with 3 R's. So, yeah, on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Anissa Barr.
All right. Well, Ben, we know that you're doing quite a bit of work here at the Opinion City podcast channel for some time. But if people are searching you out, where can they find you?
Well, you can find me on Instagram, X, Blue Sky, Letterboxd at bsilverio20.
All right. Well, and of course, you can find us on all forms of social media. You can find us on YouTube. We are everywhere at Opinion City Pod. Well, this has been incredible. I cannot thank you enough, Anissa, for joining us this evening as our resident GCW expert to shed a little light on what's been going on with GCW and what we're looking forward to at One Night Only. So you're well, as I say to all our guests that we really enjoy having here. You are welcome here anytime on the channel. Hopefully we will have more GCW conversations in the future that we can bring you in for as well. So we appreciate your time tonight over there on the West Coast.
Thank you so much. When I was asked to do this, I was so excited because, I really love GCW, and I really appreciate the offer, and thank you so much. I had a ball. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, well, thank you. We appreciate it. And Ben, of course, thank you for again all your great work. The phenomenal interview with Adam, just great stuff. And we really appreciate you being a part of the channel here as well.
Of course. Thank you so much.
All righty. Well, that's going to do it for this episode of the Opinion City Podcast. For our GCW expert, Anissa Barr. For our infield correspondent, Ben F. Silverio, I am King Ralph. And remember, kindness is free, so be kind to each other. God bless each and every one of you, and we will see you next time.